Hello YouTubers, and it's been a while, and I'm going to review the study series Leader Class Blackout. So here he is on his identical design with the pose, and there's a left side, and this one says number 8. There's a study series, and there's a back, and there's some description if you want to pause. Also, the big screen thing, and this one included backdrop, and there's Goldminock and Blackout. So let's put him the box aside. He comes with the backdrop, which is supposed to be a resemblance of the one where Blackout destroyed the military by himself with the big surprise. I bet this looks like a nighttime, I guess, because how the color difference. But here it is, and some Transformers logo 2007, and he the inscription, which I already know because I've been waiting for this for like almost like 1 month. In the back, very unnecessary, but let's take a look at the toy itself. So here he is, Blackout in his helicopter mode. So actually he's kind of a bit accurate and plays more like a play flow because of addition to the glass this finally has, minus you could see a head like he's riding himself, and some panels that don't really well, there's some minor issues that the panels don't really fit in, and sometimes it has to do with the slot that doesn't really peg in, because this side is kind of it due to the fact that it's now mostly white when he was in the robot mode, and also the leg panels where this thing might tend not to plug in, and as well as this one. But overall, it's just oh yeah, and as well as this one. But overall, yeah, it's just not that bad, and he has some nice deco, like the like there's a star in it, and it says Blackout, and some nice details right there. Yeah, and it has some. It's gonna be fun if you spin it, but this thing is kind of a bit stiff, and yeah. Also, this long piston thing, I'm kind of a bit worried if you break it, because if you kind of accidentally bend it down when you play it or refill it too much, it might break it. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid, and I am aware that I actually almost break it, but also some issue right there. Besides, by the way, and yeah, and yeah, the color schemes, it's gotta be nice, except for the gold taco in here, and some windows that it doesn't really paint in. But yeah, and also the nice taco in the front. So the comparison is in terms of length, and here is this prime power of the prime version. So this is Leader Class, and this one's still a bit taller than this guy. So how about the other figure, like the Voyager? It was Iron High from 2007, supposed to be his arrival, like I remember in the video games, but he got killed by Lennox. Oh, and there's a size. Now with the Deluxe Class, Here we see hot rod in the front, I would say, along with the other figures by comparison, but oh well. And the not at least is the Stinger. The same one that was a part of the study series, which I have not reviewed, but yeah. So that's about it. So to transform him, first you have to look at the blades thingy, which you have to find somewhere which is located right there. Those like the slots right there, where this one is like does not spin, and this one it can spin. That's where you can transform it. So pull out like so, and this one like so, and mine has some little bit scratch and is made in like soft plastic, so it's kind of durable to break them. But yeah, and take out the railroad holders or something, that thing, which is going to be his weapon anyway. And start by open this arm thingy, which also this arm thingy, like so. If I pull it out, then try to pull this thing forward, then you can snap it in by like so. Do the other same thing, like in the movie identically, but not really. And try pull down his arm like like so, and just when it just put it down and just rotate it like so. Flip down his hand first, and like so. Did all the same thing. Pull down his arm. Just be careful with that thing. Put down his hand, and you just snap this plug into this slot with that plug, by the way. So there it is. Oh yeah, forgot about the wheel thing, which it's just only make him stand, and there's no fire mode where you just take out the wheels because of that thing. But well. Oh yeah, you have to take this panel out by try to find pressure. Oh yeah, that thing just pop out, but oh well. Take this thing out, like like so. I have to take this panel out because this thing is kind of stuck in without this thing under this thing. So do all the same thing too by just like if okay. So technically there it is. It's just kind of hard to get out, but there it is. And now you can flip these glass thing up and just put it like so, and just flip the panel down. And what you're going to do with it is just push the entire thing except for the piston, which will reveal his head, which means the wheel is going to become his chest part. And this panel thing, is going to lay on down this thing. So out to the sides, pull out his legs, and there is his cormorant, which I haven't reviewed it, but get to that later. And pull out his legs first before snapping in, and do it like so. And just flip down the skirt and this panel. Oh, and just snap this thing on. And just get it in the arm position. And with his legs, and try to pull his leg out and by the way, and try to take out this panel. It's kind of behind. Like so. And flip this thing first. Oh yeah, and just pull down his feet and flip this thing up. Do the same thing too, and like so, and like so, and collapse it and flip down like so. Flip the wheel up, and you gotta do just rotate its thigh. Just be careful with that knee thing, and I just form a chicken leg, which like the movie. And after that, you have to pull this entire thing up behind the glass part, which it's kind of a bit easy because I thought it's gonna be hard, but you just have to pull it up by pull this thing out and put it under, and then after that, collapse this thing onto that thing, and to keep this thing up, you have to put so much pressure and collapse it upwards. Like there's a panel, there's a slot right there, which is going to slot through here, and that panel right there is going to collapse under its back. And before that, just hold it entire thing, and just and just don't let this thing get in this way, and you just collapse it like so, and flip this panel down like so. And here you have Blackout in his robot mode. So his transformation it's kind of complexity, but I kind of found it to be that okay. It's just that I having trouble putting on this panel while I'm just making a video out of it while on my free time. It's kind of be easy to put this thing out rather than just being a review on this camera. But oh well. And this hand, it's kind of have the 3 fingers, unfortunately, because he has 1 thumb and 2 fingers, and he always like, yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but yeah. And kind of wish they did with the arm, but they just looks fine. It's just the fact that this thing is kind of hinder his twisting, and his feet, not too really. I mean, could have improvement, like they said, but don't mind it. And his back, some people say it's some YouTubers like Jibber the Jobby the Hong said that it's pretty accurate to the back, but this thing is kind of hinders, like it's underneath there, like it would have been so accurate. Should have done better with that panel right there, but yeah. And for the close up, oh yeah, before the close up, let's take a look at it. Scorponok, his sidekick or his pet, and actually it has some pretty good details. Nice gold, kind of an improvement over the Forger one, which I only had some repaints of the blackout. Ocean have the blackout, Oceanal blackout, but I can't sell it for some reason in 2007, just because I didn't return his, I didn't turn his waist, but kind of a bummer. But here it is. Yeah, it's a articulation. His tails would go under if they cut out this thing, I would suppose. And also have some good arms. Should have done with these legs and this claw. But it's kind of good. So moving on. Here's a close up of Blackout's face, and I kind of like how sculpted his head was, and I think they did a fantastic job. But it's kind of, he only has gunmetal on most of his face, while on the back it doesn't have any so much gunmetal, along with these gray part are not really gunmetal, so it's kind of a bummer. And I wish that they painted all of his head like the top one. It would have been made this toy so much better. And looking at this, the thing right under his head, I mean below his head, and here is his chest, which I mentioned earlier, that this is a wheel which from his chest, and this piston, and his arms, his skirt armor, which is kind of inaccurate because he actually walked with this thing that is connected to his legs, and that thing is kind of, it should have been crouch parts instead of just skirt armor. And his feet, nothing much, and yeah, and has some gunmetal parts in the sides, which I don't know what's its purpose, but it's gonna be good. And for the articulation for him, his heads can turn left or right and go up and down, sort of, and no pivot. And he cannot rotate 160 because how limited his size were. So yeah, and has some butterfly, which, like the Jarby said, is supposed to connect to there with it's supposed to connect it with this thing, but it serves no purpose, so kind of be a bummer. But I would just count it as a butterfly joint. And its arms can go up and down for some reason, and it's go up and down. It's kind of a bit weird because that thing is supposed to go up and down, but because of the transformation, the up and down movement is transferred to there. And okay, and his arms can rotate, can go up and down. His fists, his hand go up down, and his thumb can articulate, but this thing is kind of been hindered for some reason, so it's kind of been a bummer. Skirt armor. You can flip the skirt armor, and this it can go up and down like that much, and can like split like so, and his thighs can rotate, can go up and down. Maybe this thing can move if you want to count it, but it's just part of a transformation. And his feet can go up and down, and with that thing just moving, and he has some angle pivot. And in terms of a weapon, he's come with that propeller, and all you can do is just flip this thing out, flip this thing down, and you can plug any arms, or like this one, if I can get it. Yeah. There's also a plug right in the back, which get this thing out of the way, and there it is right now. And not really accurately, but it's kind of a bit fun. Here is a comparison of Prime, Ironhide, Hot Rod, and his fellow Studio Series Stinger. Overall, this figure is very fantastic, yet it's somewhat kind of a bit fragile. But I recommend it for hardcore, nostalgic Transformer fans. I mean, 2007 actually, and also recommend for those that really need a Leader Class. So I definitely keeping this in my 2007 shelf. So peace and good night and peace.